Hi everyone, Donnie Schultz, Embrace Home Loans. Wanted to put together a quick video just going over a brief overview of our Approved to Move Plus program with value guarantee. I've touched base on this in our weekly market updates. We're having a lot of success with our home buyers getting accepted offers with this program. Ultimately, what we're doing here at Embrace is we're taking our conventional buyers, so that's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac buyers, putting down at least 5%, buying a primary residence, second home. We're putting them through a full credit underwrite. So they've already supplied me and my team their credit, income, asset documentation. We're taking that documentation, we're submitting it to our underwriter. Within 24 hours of submission, we're getting a fully underwritten credit approval back. So we have a commitment in place. A lot of banks are doing that. You're able to put those offers in, advise the sellers that the file has already been underwritten. All we need, or all you need, or that buyer needs to get to the closing table is a contract, a title report, and an appraisal. Now, what I've been seeing on the lending side, when I speak with the listing agent after an offer goes in, we're going to make that call every single time. First question I'm being asked in this market is, what about the appraisal? There's a lot of concern about appraisals with values continuing to move higher, offers going in over listing price. What is this buyer going to do if the property under appraises? Depending on the down payment, depending on the buyer's mindset, they may be able to offer some type of flexibility, but in most cases, a buyer is going to be very concerned about what their liability is if the property underappraises. What we're looking to do with this value guarantee piece to our Approved to Move Plus program is taking that risk, taking that concern out of the equation for the buyers. So what we do is once that buyer identifies a property, they're getting ready to make an offer, we will take that listing and we will submit with the offer terms and try to guarantee the value on the offer. So we come back and buyer saying, hey, I'm going to put an offer in on a $600,000 house. I'm going to offer $625,000. We're coming back and saying, hey, we're going to guarantee the value at $625,000. Allows our buyers to waive their appraisal contingency. So I'm going to go through briefly a little bit more on these programs, some finer details on this. Again, goal is to compete with cash offers. We want to put our buyers as far along in the process as possible, take any question marks out of the equation. When we're dealing with multiple offer situations, how do we make ourselves stand out without necessarily going above and beyond the next buyer? It's by waiving contingencies. If we could say we've already met the mortgage contingency, we're waiving the appraisal contingency because the bank is guaranteeing the value. Home run. Here's an example of what this looks like. We have a property that's listed at $575,000. Our buyer wants to offer $600,000. They're making a 10% down payment. Ultimate goal is for us to provide a value certificate saying, hey, we're guaranteeing the $600,000. If the property appraises for $575,000, there's no difference in terms to our buyer. So their monthly payments can't go up, their out-of-pocket can't go up, and there's no change in terms to our seller. So a seller who has a value guarantee in hand at offer is not going to be faced with a situation where the buyer, the attorneys, the bank comes back and says, hey, the property under appraised, you have to drop the sales price. Again, it takes the risk out of the equation for all parties. All right. Typically, in an under appraisal situation, one of two things is going to happen. One, either the buyer's terms are going to change. They're going to have to come out of pocket with more money, or their monthly payments are going to go up because they're going to be paying higher mortgage insurance, or mortgage insurance is going to be added to their loan payments. That could cause them not to qualify anymore. Second thing that would happen is if the buyer didn't have any room on their out-of-pocket, or if the buyer didn't have any room on mortgage insurance or more money out of pocket, the attorneys in the bank are going to go back to the seller and they're going to say, hey, this price has to be dropped for the buyer to still qualify and close on the house. Again, this program takes both of those scenarios out of the equation because we're making the guarantee from all. So what happens if we're unable to issue a full guarantee on a property? In most scenarios, what we're going to do is we're going to return a value certificate for a maximum value that we are comfortable guaranteeing. So that same $600,000 purchase scenario that we just looked at with the 10% down payment, in some situations we might come back with a lower value guarantee than the $600,000 offer. In this scenario, I used a $575,000 guarantee. This allows us to show a buyer what their worst case scenario is on that offer and on that purchase before they go in with their terms. So in a situation where we're unable to guarantee the full offer, I'm going to put together a very similar illustration for a buyer showing them that worst case scenario. For this buyer, 575 floor appraisal, because we're guaranteeing the 575, so anything lower than that is completely taken out of the equation because we will make up the difference on the bank end. That would trigger a slightly higher mortgage insurance payment. 760 FICO score, 10% down, primary residence. That difference in mortgage insurance payment worked out to $31.50 per month. So we could show the buyer in real granular detail, hey, here's your worst case scenario. Your out of pocket's not changing, monthly payments going up slightly. You're going to pay that mortgage insurance for a little bit longer because it's going to take you longer to get down to that 80% mark based on the initial loan amount compared to the worst case valuation. We might also show them a secondary option where their payment doesn't necessarily have to go up. We could look at leveraging that mortgage a little bit further and buying out the mortgage insurance, right? This is an option to create comfort for our buyers, to show them the flexibility they have, and put in an offer that is going to put them in the best position to go into contract on a home. Why would buyers want to use this product? Main reason that a buyer would want to use this product is not to miss out on a house. We are dealing with rising interest rates. We're dealing with increasing values. The cost of these properties is going up month over month for buyers, and there's still a big inventory problem. So you have a growing buyer pool. Buyers are not being phased to this point by interest rates or prices because they're dealing with it on the rental side. There's a rental crisis right now. Rent prices are going through the roof. Buying a home right now is still a more attractive investment than standing pat and waiting for rates to cool off because of what's happening on the rental side. So we have a growing buyer pool. We have limited inventory, so there's multiple offers on these properties when they're priced correctly, and these offers are really compressing now because buyers are more conscious about what's happening with their monthly payments with rates going up. This makes the offer stand out from the crowd. If we're going up against 5 offers and we're able to already meet the mortgage contingency, mortgage is credit approved, and we're able to waive the appraisal, right? We're right there with the cash offer. So again, no reason for a buyer not to use this. There's no increase to rates for this product. There's no upfront cost. There's no obligation. Really, the only difference between a pre-approval and getting a buyer eligible for this program is e-signing a disclosure package, just because we're going through that credit approval process. How does it work? First step is to have a normal conversation with me and my team. So I talk with every single buyer. We want to go through payment goals, out-of-pocket goals, financials. I want to make sure that the program and the financing plan that we're putting in front of our buyers meets their goals. Once we're comfortable with the numbers and the buyer has those numbers and they can compare rates and costs and they know that they are working with a very competitive lender on the number side, and they're comfortable with the service and the conversations that we've had since that first phone call, at that point we are going to have a pre-approval in place. We're going to have all of our documentation in place. We would disclose a loan to that buyer covering their full target range for the purchase, maybe even a little bit more. We want to make sure that we're just covering any potential property that they're looking at. We take that documentation, we submit it to our underwriter. Within 24 hours, we're going to have that credit approval in place, and then the buyer is eligible for the value guarantee. Buyer identifies a property. They let me know what that offer is going to be. We submit to our internal appraisal team, and within an hour, we're going to receive a value certificate, or we're going to receive a maximum value that we'd be able to guarantee on a property. It's 24/7. It's available nights, weekends, holidays. We always have coverage for this program. It's always turned around within an hour. common question is whether or not an appraisal is required. The value guarantee does not waive the appraisal contingency. It does not waive the need for an appraisal in all situations. Certain scenarios, we are going to receive a standard appraisal waiver from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac through their automated underwriting systems. But for the most part, we do advise that we're going to anticipate needing an appraiser to go into the property and provide a report to us as the bank. The results of that appraisal are a formality. If the property under appraises, we're taking care of any kind of difference on the financing end on our side, on the bank side. Again, no changes to terms for buyers or sellers, but we will most likely still need a report for our file and securitization after closing. What types of properties are eligible? So this is for primary residence and second home transactions. The properties need to have an active listing with interior photos. So we need interior photos just to make sure that we don't have any concerns about condition. We don't want an appraisal coming back subject to major repairs. So does have to be an active MLS listing, has to be interior photos. It's existing single-family homes, PUDs, and condos. New construction won't work because we won't have the data points on the property that we need for our software running our automated valuation modeling and the confidence scores. Again, owner-occupied second homes, and it works better for properties that have sold in the past, and there's some data points in the appraisal systems that are available to us. Having a lot of success, we're getting a lot of offers accepted. Again, putting our buyers to the top of the list. I don't anticipate that my buyers need to go significantly higher than the next offer. We've gotten offers accepted on this program that are not the highest offer. It's the safety that we're able to provide to the sellers. When we're guaranteeing and we're saying, hey, there is no risk here because we're guaranteeing the terms, again, puts our buyers right to the top of the list. If anybody has any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. I hope that this provided some value for you. Questions, you text me, email me. Me and my team are always available. My cell phone, 631-827-0307. You can email, you can message us on our Instagram, Facebook pages. This video is posted up on the YouTube page. So if you're on the YouTube page right now, click the follow button. We have a ton of content that goes out. Common questions, home buyer questions, things like understanding settlement, any other topics that you'd be interested in, just shoot us over a message and we'll make sure to get it up. I'll talk to you guys soon. Appreciate everybody. Have a great day.